Hello, this is Tyler Shawneth, and this is my presentation on e-cigarettes.
Go.
A few weeks ago, my grandmother, who is totally opposed to cigarette smoking, walked in on my grandfather using his e-cigarette. Being startled, my 78-year-old grandfather, who by the way started smoking cigarettes when he was 9 years old, quickly hid his e-cigarette between his legs. Being a person who is not familiar with e-cigarettes, what do you think my grandmother's response was when she saw him stick the e-cigarette between his legs? There are a lot of opposing views about e-cigarettes in the news. Some believe they are as bad for your health as regular tobacco cigarettes, while others believe they are a good way to replace an unhealthy, potentially lethal habit with a much less potent alternative. What is your opinion? Do you simply see cigarette as a cigarette, regardless of how it operates or what chemicals it contains? If you're an opponent of e-cigarettes simply because you don't know enough about them, my hope is that you'll walk away from this presentation with a more open mind. I watched my grandfather make it through a quadruple bypass a few years ago. Knowing that at his age he would never give up smoking, and knowing that the continued use of tobacco cigarettes could take him from my life much sooner than I could handle, I introduced him to the use of e-cigarettes. After many failed attempts to quit smoking, my grandfather has now almost completely eliminated regular cigarettes from his life. I myself have completely stopped smoking regular cigarettes since I started using an e-cigarette. I'm here today to provide you with information about why e-cigarettes are a healthier alternative to regular tobacco cigarettes. During this presentation, I will present examples of research and related statistics that involve the fact that e-cigarettes are not only a healthier alternative to conventional cigarettes, but that they can also help smokers quit. First of all, I will discuss what chemicals e-juice contains and compare it to the ingredients found in conventional cigarettes. This is what a bottle of e-juice looks like. Second, I will discuss the safety of e-cigarettes compared to conventional cigarettes. And finally, I will present the facts indicating e-cigarettes can help smokers stop smoking. Unless you've been living under a rock your entire life, you know conventional cigarettes are unhealthy. According to the American Lung Association, there are approximately 600 ingredients in cigarettes. Light up the cigarette and that number of chemicals created jumps to an astonishing 7,000 chemicals. Of those 7,000 chemicals, at least 69 are known to cause cancer and many are poisonous. A few of those chemicals are acetone, which is found in nail polish remover, lead, which is used in batteries, methanol, which is the main component in rocket fuel, and tar, which is material used for paving roads. The primary components in electronic cigarette cartridges are propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, and nicotine. One ingredient that both regular cigarettes and e-cigarettes have in common is nicotine. Professor Carl Phillips of the Tobacco Harm Reduction.org Institute stated that the risk from long-term use of nicotine is similar to the risk from drinking coffee, nothing remotely similar to the risk from smoking regular cigarettes. Vaping delivers nicotine through the battery-powered vaporization of nicotine propylene glycol solution without the thousands of known and unknown toxicants in tobacco smoke. Although nicotine is derived from tobacco, electronic cigarettes contain no tobacco. To put the comparison of e-cigarette ingredients and conventional cigarette ingredients in perspective, Professor Michael Siegel suggested that if we banned electronic cigarettes based on the carcinogens found in an FDA study, we would also have to ban peanut butter. The differences in the number and toxicity of the chemicals found in e-cigarettes compared to conventional cigarettes contributes to the fact that they are a safer alternative, which is my next point. It is estimated that e-cigarettes are somewhere around 99% less harmful than smoking. The act of smoking an electronic cigarette is called vaping. While vaping mimics smoking, there's no combustion and the user inhales vapor, not smoke. This is what vapor looks like. When comparing e-cigarette vapor to secondhand smoke, Professor Phillips indicated that as far as we know, the propylene glycol vapor has no human health risks at low concentrations. The amount of nicotine that escapes into the air is minimal, and tests show the levels of dangerous chemicals e-cigarettes give off is a fraction of what you get from a real cigarette. E-cigarettes are not lit like regular cigarettes. They use a battery, a heating element, and a cartridge that holds nicotine and other liquids and flavorings. There seems to be no doubt that the difference in ingredients and safety make e-cigarettes a safer alternative. With that being said, can using e-cigarettes help traditional smokers kick the unhealthy habit? Reports suggest that tens of thousands of smokers have quit smoking by switching to the electronic cigarette, and e-cigarettes may aid in smoking reduction or abstinence by attenuating cravings and tobacco withdrawal symptoms. An online survey of 216 smokers who had tried e-cigarettes found the following. 31% of smokers stopped smoking within 6 months of using e-cigarettes. 34.3 were nicotine-free, and 66.8 reported a decline in the number of cigarettes smoked. Research has shown that after quitting with the help of e-cigarettes, the incidence of smoking relapse was very low, only 6%, implying that e-cigarettes were also an effective long-term tool. In one study, not only did e-cigarettes result in a significant tobacco smoking reduction in abstinence, but 73.1% of those who quit smoking tobacco cigarettes were not using e-cigarettes, meaning they were completely nicotine-free. Hopefully you can now see that e-cigarettes are not only a safer alternative to conventional cigarettes, but statistics even show they can help people quit smoking. So what was my grandmother's response when she saw my grandfather hide his e-cigarette between his legs? Not understanding how e-cigarettes worked, she told him that he was going to burn a very sensitive area of his body and that it would serve him right for smoking the things. I'll leave you to determine what my grandmother was referring to, but the main point is knowledge is important before you form an opinion on e-cigarettes. What will you do the next time you see someone smoking an odd-looking cigarette? Will you reprimand them for living an unhealthy lifestyle, or will you embrace their decision to smoke something healthier? I'm not forcing the habit of smoking on non-smokers. In fact, I applaud anyone who has never picked up a cigarette. But before you condemn e-cigarettes as being unhealthy to the person smoking or to the persons around them, please understand the facts. There will always be smokers and non-smokers, whether it's conventional cigarettes or e-cigarettes. You may not walk away from here today and rush to your local vaping store to buy an e-cigarette, but hopefully you now understand that not only can you not burn yourself in a very sensitive area with an e-cigarette, but the smoke isn't smoke and the chemicals aren't near as toxic.